Hello there, you're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS English News at 5. Let us begin with the top stories for today. Sarawak is on track to pioneer the world in developing clean hydrogen-powered automobiles and bringing the vehicles to the driveway. Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, said Sarawak, with its rich resources, would benefit in the production of hydrogen technology.
Earlier, Abang Johari was the region's first recipient of the second-generation Toyota MIRAI.
Ini adalah satu daripada usaha kita di Peringkat Negeri Sarawak untuk mempromosikan penggunaan tenaga hijau, iaitu hydrogen. Dan di negeri kita, our technology on hydrogen is in the process of transition, and we have a few vehicles in Sarawak driven by hydrogen power.
The latest hydrogen-powered vehicle, capable of driving over a distance of 1,000 kilometers in a single fill, was handed over in a simple ceremony by UMW Toyota Motor. Demonstrating his commitment to do his best for the growth of the hydrogen, the region, through Sarawak Economic Development Corporation SEDC Energy, is currently working with South Korea to produce hydrogen by 2025, as well as Japan in the production of hydrogen. He believed that with recent research and development R&D of electrolyzer, hydrogen energy production will ultimately become affordable in the next 5 to 10 years.
Walaupun ketika ini prosesnya agak mahal, there is a possibility that the cost will come down with the mass production of electrolyzer.
UMW Toyota Motor President Ravindran K praised SEDC Energy in undertaking the aspirations of the Sarawak government in becoming the nation's leader in green energy by developing multi-fuel stations and other hydrogen projects.
Similarly, Sarawak will soon have its own electrolyzer production plant to cater to the growing needs and demands in the hydrogen production industry. Sarawak Economic Development Corporation SEDC Chairman Tan Sri Dato' Amar Dr. Abdul Aziz Hussain said Sarawak is also looking into exporting the electrolyzers due to demands from other countries.
At the moment, we are setting it up. I think we are just starting the tooling to do the operation, and it will be set up at the KKB, right? In BINTAWA. In BINTAWA. We should be able to develop the technology better in the coming years, and hopefully we'll be able actually to do the plant or the electrolyzer for the big plant in Bintulu later on for our big mass production of hydrogen in Bintulu.
He said this after witnessing the delivery of Toyota MIRAI to the Premier, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, at Menara Pelita on Monday. Electrolyzer is a component in hydrogen energy production that converts water into hydrogen and oxygen. At the same time, Aziz said the establishment of the electrolyzer plant is also aimed to power the Autonomous Rapid Transit System ART, which will operate later this year.
We need to produce hydrogen for our ART. The ART will require, next year will require about 10 tons. 10 tons a day. 2 tons a day, sorry. Yeah. So we need to ramp up the plant to 5 tons a day of hydrogen.
On July last year, SEDC Energy signed a memorandum of understanding with Petroleum Nasional Berhad or Petronas for the production of electrolyzers.
Energy demand and prices are rising, and so is the pressure for alternate sustainable energy sources for the transport industry. As such, Sarawak has invested in hydrogen energy as a viable solution in tandem with its policy of leading the world in developing renewable energy and reducing dependence on fossil fuels in the automobile industry. Advisor to the Board of Directors of Toyota Petrajaya, Andre Suharto, said that the automotive industry is looking into alternative fuel options for the transport industry. The latest fleet region government featuring hydrogen-powered Toyota MIRAI launched by the Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Peninggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, marks a new evolution in the automotive industry, which is also part of the effort to promote the use of hydrogen energy. Andre revealed that hydrogen production plants run on solar or wind power and use electrolysis to extract it from water. This method, he said, has a very low carbon footprint, and the gas released into the air during manufacture is simply oxygen. He said that this will be a big step in the quest for a net zero carbon future.
Now, as we all know, the cars that are using hydrogen gas to run, the output or the waste is actually water. Now, of course, the next question will be, how do they produce the hydrogen gas? Will that actually involve more carbon emission versus the electricity generating plants that are producing electricity using coal powered plant, as an example, or diesel for that matter, diesel powered plant. So these are the considerations that are to be made, and I think in this instance, the availability of the hydrogen-powered cars by Toyota are giving options to the consumers to choose which are the kind of non-combustion engine cars that can be used for their day-to-day lives.
Meanwhile, on providing affordable hydrogen-powered vehicles, Andre said that in economies of scale, automotive businesses can lower the average cost through larger scale production.
It will depend on the volume of sales, the volume of units that are being sold in the market. And I believe there are more and more countries that are now that now have realized that battery-operated or battery-powered vehicles are not the only options to help reduce carbon emissions. So, therefore, I think people are beginning to realize that hydrogen will be the next alternative to battery-powered vehicles. And as such, I do believe that the demand for the hydrogen cars eventually will increase and their prices will be reduced.
On challenges and future aspects of hydrogen fuel in the automotive industry, Andre said expansion and cost-effective solutions should be the way.
The challenges will be, number one, making available infrastructure for the hydrogen cars to be able to refill hydrogen gas at many, many places. So that may take time. But I think because the state government is really committed into it, eventually this will probably be made available across many areas, not only in Kuching, but across Sarawak. Number two is the need to train our people, especially those in the automotive industry, the technician in specific, to help them to transform from currently being an expert in doing maintenance of vehicle cars using internal combustion engine to hydrogen, because the mechanisms are different. They are less mechanical parts, and with hydrogen powered, everything are actually electrical and electronics. So the component being used in the car that are being powered by hydrogen are different from those that are being powered by petrol as well as diesel. Therefore, the universities, the vocational schools that are helping to educate the students in automotive needs to be ready as well to incorporate syllabus and training materials and curriculum that are actually aligned towards hydrogen-powered vehicles.
Sarawak is aiming to become a leader in the hydrogen economy in Malaysia, with plans to begin large-scale commercial production and export of hydrogen by 2027. In this regard, Abang Johari said, tapping on the potential, Sarawak is developing a public transport system called Automated Rapid Transit, which will be integrated with digital solutions to create a seamless experience using hydrogen fuel cell. He expects this eco-friendly integrated public transportation system currently being implemented in Kuching Samarhan divisions to reduce the carbon footprint in Kuching City by 15% by 2030. The black box of the regional passenger plane that crashed on Sunday near Pokhara, Nepal, has been found. According to Jagannath Nirola, spokesperson of the Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal, earlier in the day, the rescuers resumed the search for 4 people still unaccounted for after the plane crashed near Pokhara, a popular tourist destination in central Nepal. Divers have been mobilized to search in the Sati River, as some bodies are feared to have fallen into it. The crash of aircraft operated by Yeti Airlines on Sunday was deemed as the worst air crash in 3 decades in the small Himalayan nation, killing at least 68 people.
An eyewitness described the thunderous crash made when a domestic flight crashed in Pokhara, Nepal's largest city, on Sunday.
उसके बाद हम लोग निकल के छत के ऊपर गए तो फिर देखे धुआं तो हम लोगों को लगा कि ऐसा कि मतलब लगता है एयर जो है क्रैश हो गया है तो हम लोग दौड़ते इधर आए और मैं और मेरा दोस्त दीपक हम दोनों दौड़ते आए उसके बाद दीपक जो है उधर बचाने के लिए उन लोगों को बचाने के लिए नीचे गया हम तो नहीं गए हम तो बाहर ही थे और दीपक मेरा दोस्त वो नीचे गया और तकरीबन 35 लोगों को जो है निकाला.
According to Yeti Airlines spokesman Sudarshan Bartaula, 72 people consisting of 4 crew members and 68 passengers were on board the ATR-72 plane operated by Nepal's Yeti Airlines when it crashed. It was reported that 37 were men, 25 were women, 3 were children, and 3 were infants. Hundreds of rescue workers scoured the hillside where the flight carrying 72 people from the capital Kathmandu went down. Police official A.J. Casey said rescue workers were having difficulty reaching the site in a gorge between 2 hills near the tourist town's airport. There was no immediate indication of what caused the crash. The crash is Nepal's deadliest since 1992. The Aviation Safety Network database showed when a Pakistan International Airlines Airbus A300 crashed into a hillside upon approach to Kathmandu, killing all 167 people on board.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media platforms. That's all the time we have for TVS News at 5. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching.
The Zapin Sindang and Sabat traditional dances in Sarawak are now under threat of extinction due to changes in culture and beliefs. As growing technology rapidly builds, old traditions are fading away and giving way to a certain way of life in the urban community.
Jadi kita di Sarawak tu kita lebih kepada bukan memang ada usaha, tapi kita lebih popular kepada budaya memukun tadi, memukun, berjoget.
Will the Sarawak Malay Zapin dance heritage be preserved? Tune in to Tarian Zapin Sarawak Antara Minat dan Budaya tonight at 8 p.m. on Utama TVS, only on channel 122 Astro and MyTV.